Right, let's this is another one of my kind of impromptu. An idiot looks at stuff and then gives you his opinion, which is worth fuck all. Anyway, let's start with the lovely builds templates. Now, I've not looked at these at all. They came into play yesterday, yeah, so I've got no idea what I'm going to do with them. So I'm just going to piss around with them and see what I can do. When I'll be honest, up front, I wasn't very happy with how it was all kind of the convoluted way in which it was all implemented. It's like you've got this stuff which is account bound, and then you've got these two, which is your builds for um, your class, which is tied to the character, and then you've got I mean, I don't even know where to start really. So you've got, oh yeah, and then you've got the equipment stuff, but I don't know where that actually comes into play. Anyway, so this is like an idiot starting off. So this is my default build. Yeah, okay. So my aquatic stuff. Okay, all right. So this is a soul beast build. Right. So then a ranger build. Oh, okay. I want this to be my kind of. I don't even know where to start. I mean, what the fuck? Can you right? So can you drag that to there? Click to. Okay, to build storage. All right. Why the fuck would you want to do that twice? Weapon skills. Inspect. Okay. Copy build template, store build template, apply to build template. No, I don't want any of that. Alright, so how do I... if I go to equipment... Go to... Right, okay, so the equipment. Okay, so... Right, so now I can... Right, so this... Let's see. So I want to keep my druid build here. So... but this is a soul based, so... Now I've heard that these are loadouts rather than templates, so if I change anything, it changes it. So I suppose if I look at my... Yeah, so I had to... Yes, I had some Magi rings as well as some... Piss off, you fucking... Getting in the way. And bringing me back my ring. What the fuck are you doing over there? Why is... No. That ring. Okay. Rename. Druid. Accept. Rename. Soul Beast. Accept. Okay. Right. Then I can go back to builds and I can... That's my Soul Beast build, and in this one I will clear build template. Yes. Go traits. Marksmanship. Nope. Skirmishing. Spotter. Quick draw. Trapper. Beast mastery. That. Yeah. But now it thinks I'm using a fucking greatsword. That. Um. Fucking hell. So how do you tie your equipment slot to it? I want to... Do I have to go back to equipment? Change to that? Go back to traits? Yeah, see now it's... Okay. Right, okay, because it's based on what you've... Okay, that's fine. Okay, right, so... It's fucking... It's a bit convoluted. I mean, I didn't use Art DPS, and... well, sorry, I did use Art DPS, but I didn't use the build templates, or rather, I used it once or twice. and from what I saw, it was quite good. And you could just basically, it took a long time to set up, much like that did, but I think it was a little bit more intuitive than that was. Um, and that's the wrong. Yeah, that's not it. Yeah, okay, so right, so now there must be options to go into builds. Let's have a look for control options. Um, build template 1. Okay, build template 1. No. Let's do... Let's do Alt-S for Soul Beast. And Alt-D for Druid. Can you do the same thing? Equipment template? Alt-S. Cancel. No, I don't know. That's fucking stupid. Why do... Can you bind them together in any way? So what? I've got to do... Equip the build template and then equip the equipment. So I've got to do Alt S, then Control S. Okay, and then I can do Alt D and Control D. Just get rid of that one. Okay, alright, that's fair enough. Alright, so now I can go from Alt S, Control S. I'd be more happy if it was, if I could then bind the two of them together and do one. But that is not bad. Alt D, Control D. Right, let's change that. Okay, yeah, that is... Oh, hold on. It's changed that for me. No, it's not. No. Okay, right, so I need to store active build. Alright, okay, yeah, that's fair enough, okay. Alright. No, I don't like that. What's the point? Is that... Yeah, so yep, okay. See, what I don't like now is, right, so I can have a third build in which, right, so sometimes I use a longbow. So I'd go, it's Soul Beast, it's more or less exactly the same. However, the equipment I would have would be, I'd have a longbow. But, although I can store the build template here, I don't have any equipment tabs for it. So and did I notice that? Hmm. 500 gems. Because you're unlikely to use another. What, I wouldn't use another build template using the same gear. Like, although I'd use more or less exactly the same. If I created a Soul Beast longbow build, all I would be doing is changing the longbow and removing axe and sword. For like say World versus World roaming, I'd just change to that. I don't really roam as a ranger though. I normally roam as a druid and just kind of heal, and because you don't get so many reflects on staff 1, but we don't get any reflects. But um, okay, right. So now, what happens if I go into World versus World? Because you used to have a build for World versus World, and then you'd have a build for PvP. But now I've used up. It's, I want to clear that build template. Yes. So this is the thing, because you had 3 different builds. I had a build for. No, let's put that fucking back as well. What the fuck?
Come forth from death.
Now what happens if I go into PvP lobby? Um, let's say for instance I just changed this.
My flames burn hotter.
Okay, so this is my PvP, what I'm using in PvP. And if I go back to World versus World, it's changed. It's unnecessarily... I think if you... I think if you were using it, if you've got just two builds, right? If you're going from one thing to another, what you've got is okay, and it flicks over seamlessly enough. It's just a little annoying. I mean, why is there not a third template when you've got three build templates, but you haven't got three equipment templates? I don't want 500 gems for that. Fuck off. What? These templates, I'm assuming I can just create loads of them, right. So if I could create loads of them in here, and I could hot swap in and out. But that doesn't help if you haven't got the build templates to be able to, or the equipment templates to be able to fucking use them with. This is what they've 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 over monetized it for, to be really fucking annoying. The builds. Then this is not a template. These are not templates. You can't have a build template and a loadout template that are not linked, because in most cases you don't use the same equipment when you change a build. It's very... I, I don't change my build enough, but I would imagine it's quite rare for you to keep exactly the same weapons and armor, but change change the stats around. Because normally you would go, right, I'm not using I'm not going to use sword axe. I'm going to use we'll say I want to use my longbow. I can't, and keep the same. You're more likely to change your equipment than you are to change your... Well, you're going to change both. I just don't get it. I don't get why you can go from one to the other. Sorry, why they're not the same. Why they're not the same thing. I should just be able to go, right, build 1 is this, build 2 is this, and it changes the equipment and changes the build in the background. Build 3 is a... Fuck off. Build 3 is a... is Rangers... Longbow Soul Beast. Right? Number 4, it could be Condi fucking Ranger. And it changes your equipment and changes your build all in one go. That's like one click. Then you wouldn't have to do, while it's only 2 clicks, I get, but it wouldn't have to do activate Soul Beast build and then activate Soul Beast equipment. It would just be activate Soul Beast and she changes over to Soul Beast. I wouldn't need to do Alt D to give me my Druid shit and then Control D to give me my Druid gear. It will be one button because they're linked. And you could still monetize the hell out of that. They could have just done these build templates. You could have charged 600 gems each for these. Like, give us 600 gems for each of them, because it's got to be less than a character, because a character is 800 gems. So all right, 700 gems. So 700 gems, right? And make this tab go further. You'd get people just go, right, okay, I'm going to twat it out to 10. What would be better and less cunty would be to have this as an account unlock. But to have these tabs, this fucking here, and then this here, and then this here, you've made it fucking complicated for no reason. I think it's okay as long as I don't... Well, I'm a... Control S, Alt S. Right, so as I said, that's seamless. That's really good. Okay, it could have been better. You could have put it all into one thing. The fact that you've separated build and equipment is a bit of a twatty thing to do. And Pete, I don't get why you charge him for this fucking equipment things here, right? And now you've hidden away, right? So that all this equipment now is gone from here, right? So now it's like you could have just left all that equipment in these bags, and all the other people that have bought extra bags to put more and more equipment in, you could have carried on doing that, and you could have monetized it that way, and still had all these. If you'd have got 10 templates, I bet you, if you'd have unlocked this more, like down to here, and just said, look, you idiots that, or not idiots, but you people that want fucking 15 builds, buy more bags so you can carry all your shit, and then we'll sell you these at 700 gems each, a little bit less than a character slot, and people would have bought them all. You could have, that could have gone, that tab, the fact it ends there is fucking annoying. It could have ended there, right? And then you could have got rid of all this shit, and all this shit here. And it would have been, um, builds template 2 relates to equipment template, equipment loadout 2. And then equipment loadout 2 and build loadout 2 are linked, and you just go in your little in the settings. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen. You can't fucking see me pointing at the screen. In the settings, under the controls, you'd have apply template 1, and it would just be a combination of it would load the build loadout and it would load the equipment loadout, and you would change in one character slot. But you chose to do it a different way, and I know I'm not the target audience. I'm not playing it in the same way that other people do, and good luck to them. They've got a character they like. They've got 10 loadouts that they were playing. I early on had a Condi Ranger and a Power Ranger, so it doesn't really apply to me. But yeah, this is nice. That is quick and nice, and it loads everything up, and that's all lovely, and that's nice. It was just a shitty way of it's been implemented. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Catch you later.